Yeah, thank you. Oh, there you go, there you go, there you go.
Hey everyone, I am in Aiken, South Carolina at the oldest hotel in town that you could stay at, which is the Wilcox Hotel. Dates back to 1898 when it was the Wilcox Inn. And as we're in South Carolina thoroughbred country, there are horses everywhere. In this video, we'll stay in a property that dates back to the late 1800s. We'll also check out some of the local history and dive deep into local equestrian culture that attracts visitors from around the world. We'll also check out the local food scene from South Carolina peaches to she crab soup. So let's check out Aiken. Now, if you're like me and you're traveling from the New York City area, I think Columbia Airport is going to be your best bet. So flights are around 90 minutes between LaGuardia and Columbia, and then once you get here, it's less than an hour to downtown Aiken. The Wilcox restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week, and they can seat a total of 300 people. Now, not in this small room, but there are rooms for the overflow. Now, as we're in South Carolina's thoroughbred country, you can see there's a horse right behind me. Now, if you're looking to hit some of Aiken's highlights, there are 2-hour trolley tours you can join. Those aren't free, but they're highly informative, and it's a laid-back, relaxed way to see the city. So they have these old-fashioned wooden seats with nice leather cushions on them.
Well, we're going to go ahead and use it. Can all of y'all hear me? Yes. Perfectly? Okay, good. So we start our tour here with the train museum because without the railroad, our city wouldn't be what it is today. We were a farming community going back to the 1700s. The King of England gave out land grants. Farmers were moving in. By the early 1800s, y'all, we had sweet potatoes 5 to 6 pounds each being grown here. We had turnips 1 to 3 pounds. Then we started growing peaches, peanuts, cotton, asparagus. In fact, we were one of the asparagus capitals of the world for over 30 years. So lots of wonderful produce, but no good transportation. All we had was horse and buggy all the way to Charleston, which took days and was expensive and caused a lot of times produce to spoil before it actually got to Charleston, the large market. Well, Christmas Day of 1830, Charleston rolled out the very first railroad ever, and it only traveled 6 miles of track. But it was enough to excite the farmers here. So one of our largest landowners, Captain William White Williams, made a quick trip to Charleston. There he met with the first president of the railroad, William Aiken Sr., who would later become the namesake for our town.
If you're like me and you've never been to Aiken County before, the Aiken County Historical Museum is an ideal place to kind of get your bearings and learn a little bit about where you'll be spending your time. So the museum is 3 floors. I'm in the basement, and this is a recreation of Mr. Moody's pharmacy. So you can see the stuff is kind of behind glass there, and there also looks to be some sort of drink area. So please leave a comment below. I'm very curious as to whether or not you've actually seen this stuff. Bonus if you've seen it outside of a museum. I think this stuff predates me by at least a decade or 2. And apparently these cash registers were a lot bigger back in the day. I don't even remember ones that were this big. My first instinct was to start playing with this phone, but then I noticed this little sign, of course. And I love the music history in these smaller cities. So there was a music studio in here once upon a time. And then if you look behind me, you'll see that there is a city in South Carolina called North Augusta, which is in South Carolina, next to the more famous neighbor, Augusta, Georgia. There's also this really cool archaeology room. So if you want some history way back to the point where you will not be able to trace your ancestors, this is the room. So here we go all the way from negative 9500 or 9500 BC, all the way here to when the Taj Mahal was built, American Revolution, and the South Carolina Railroad. William the Refrigerator Perry is from Aiken, and this room I'm standing in right now is a little recreation of Mayor Odell Weeks' office. The Historical Museum is free, as is the Train Museum on top of the Visitor Center, which is known locally as the Depot. And according to this exhibit, there was once a daily train from New York to Aiken. This feels a little more personal here because you could pick up the phone and in this case, hear about the life of Horatio Allen, who was an American civil engineer. I'm in the little town of 5,200 people called Abbeville, South Carolina, stopping for lunch at a place called Indigenous Underground. So if you look this place up, you're going to see American menu, New American, but this is, at least for me, it's very Southern. So it's a South Carolina certified business, meaning that at least 25% of the ingredients are local, but I believe here it's more like 75%. And I am trying something I typically associate with Florida and Louisiana, which is gator. So these are gator bites. If you've never had gator, it's a white meat. It's often compared to chicken, but whenever I'm down here, I always order either gator bites or some kind of gator dish. So everyone else at my table ordered shrimp and grits or a shrimp po' boy, but I am having gator and grits, which I've heard of gator, heard of grits. I've never seen them combined. I believe this is a crawfish cream sauce on the top. Whenever I see anything Louisiana inspired, I know it's going to be on the heavier side. No exception with this one. I would say the bigger surprises are it's salty and there's a tiny bit of spice. You probably won't notice it, but I do. Downtown has so many cool shops, but I'm fixated on High Country olive oil. So it's called High Country. I know South Carolina has a Low Country, but I'm told this is really the Midlands. The olive oils are on the right. I want to try some of the balsamic vinegars on the left, and I am going to start with the dark. I'm going to try two that really stand out, which are the aged black cherry. Okay. Cherry in this one is kind of subtle. Little bit of sweetness, kind of hits your throat pretty quick. I also want to try blueberry or aged wild blueberry to be more specific. Okay, right away I could tell the blueberry is my favorite of the two. It's a little bit sweeter. I could definitely imagine dipping my summer rolls in it or kind of just using it in a salad. So Aiken County has a total of 47 polo fields. 3 of those are within the Aiken city limits. Now the big polo event usually takes place on a weekend, Sunday more specifically, but you could also come and check out a smaller one on weekdays, like right here. And they set these little horse trailers up right in the parking area. And people also bring their pets to these polo matches. Downtown Aiken has around 20 different restaurants to try. First, I'm trying Malia's. So this place has, I would say, an American menu, starting off with the barbecue shrimp with some feta cheese, and I don't think I've ever seen a dish like this with melon. Speaking of feta cheese, this is an appetizer that came highly recommended. Bread, and then here we have feta cheese. I believe it's going to have a little bit of spice to it. That's an olive oil, tomatoes, and then that looks like either red pepper, paprika, or something like that on top. So the barbecued grilled shrimp, the dish is on the sweeter side, first because of the cantaloupe, but also from the barbecue sauce. It's on the thicker side, and that's also pretty sweet. Okay. Tomatoes are really juicy. I like the feta cheese. The bread's sliced very thin, so it's really crispy. For my entree, I'm having the 8-ounce tenderloin. So these are mushrooms. Kind of reminds me of marsala, which is probably why I ordered it. So this came apart with a fork. It's a tenderloin, but it almost reminds me of a filet mignon. I ordered mine medium, which is perfect. That's what I recommend if you come here. Out of everything I tried here, I have to say the steak was my favorite, but in terms of creativity, it has to go to the barbecue grilled shrimp. If you're looking to do a day trip outside of Aiken, Route 25 passes through some interesting little towns like this one, which is Edgefield. So 10 governors of South Carolina came from Edgefield, from this little town of 4,750 people. There's a really nice town square you could walk. These Clemson turkeys, I believe, are on each corner. And then this is the town square right here. You have that obelisk. That's a statue of former Senator Strom Thurmond. The courthouse is right there. And this really reminds me of just like any town, USA.
Rumors of my wickedness had reached our little town, so she'd heard about the boys I used to hang around.
Now, if you want to stick around Edgeville for dinner, Christine's Farm to Fork is one of the options. And I am having dinner here right now, and I'm used to Italian bread with maybe butter or olive oil, but here it's a little different. These are warm biscuits, and that is strawberry butter. And I just found out you could buy this strawberry butter by the pint or the quart. So this kind of looks and smells like strawberry ice cream. So I was curious as to why strawberry butter. Christine, the owner, has a farm and she grows strawberries. So the menu has a Greek and Korean influence. That's because the namesake Christine has Korean and Greek heritage. And I'm trying something that's not on the menu. This stood out from the little sign that's outside the restaurant announcing the specials tonight. This is the Chilean sea bass. Now, I like this fish, but I ordered it because there is a little peach salad on the top. A fun fact, although most of us would probably associate peaches with Georgia, South Carolina grows more peaches than the state of Georgia. So this fish just comes apart so easily. Very flaky. It's also, it's always one of the more expensive at the grocery store as well. The suites at the Wilcox Hotel are named after different notables that have a connection to this part of South Carolina. So I saw the Roosevelt Suite. I'm not sure what the connection there was, but Latham C. Burns was a local investor who passed away somewhat recently. And I love how these old hotels still have physical keys. It gives them a little bit of charm. So this is the living area. And I can already tell this place is bigger than my apartment. And a little thing that stands out is you get your own iPad. I wish I knew that. I wouldn't have brought my own. This is the bedroom, separated by a door, steps going up to the bed. Every night they do, I believe it's called a turn up. And check this out, Apple TV, so you could watch my YouTube videos on the screen. Besides the iPad and Apple TV, I really appreciate the yoga mat. And we're gonna check out the bathroom now. So there is a bathtub, shower combination. It looks to be marble. And the third floor has some books and games. Looks like they have children's books, games for all ages, and they even have something I only know as a Megadeth CD, which is Risk. Now the Wilcox Hotel is not all horses. There's a cow painting, and then that's a ram. And as far as I could tell, everything's for sale. You can get Cuffy for the bargain price of $3,600, or if you want to spend a little bit more, you could get a 40 by 40 of Lester for just $37.50. The gym's tucked away in that little corner, and the pool's right here. This area lights up at night. You can see the little light bulbs hanging above the pool. The downtown area of Aiken is very walkable. But if you do want to save a little time, you can grab one of these bikes that are available from the hotel. Park Avenue Oyster Bar and Grill is another place in downtown Aiken. We are about 2 hours from the coast, but I'm anxious to try some seafood down here. So I'm trying something I've never heard of. This is called she crab. You can see there's jumbo lump meat on the top. Kind of has the color of a lobster bisque. I am told that there's crab roe in it. Okay, one thing that kind of surprises me is there's some kind of pepper in it, I believe. Kind of hit the back of my throat. It's very smooth. There's dry sherry in it. Okay, I'm trying something from the raw bar menu now, which is the Peruvian shellfish salad. Ordered this for a couple reasons. Number one, it has Peruvian in it, and if you watch my videos, you'll know that's my third favorite food in the world. And number two, there is a citrus ginger dressing, which I'm anxious to taste. So you have large wonton chips here, and then you have smaller ones here. I really noticed the scallops at first glance, and there's shrimp in there too. Okay, I like the way the wontons add a little crunch to it. I taste the citrus more than the ginger, definitely. But all in all, this is a light, refreshing dish. Kind of the opposite of the she crab that I just tried, which is heavier. But I highly recommend this as an appetizer, or if you're here at lunch, maybe as your entree. So today they're serving Blue Point oysters. First I'm trying it just with some lemon juice. So I first tried with lemon, now I want to try a little bit of this mignonette. All right, I prefer the oysters with the mignonette. I usually do, but I'm gonna rank the three things that I tried here. I'm gonna say number one was definitely the she crab. It was a nice surprise because I feel like I've tried every variation of crab, including crab cake egg rolls, which a lot of people haven't even tried, but here, I thought the soup was delicious. It's called she crab. Second, I'm gonna go with the Peruvian seafood salad. I liked the citrusy taste to it. It was also very light and refreshing. Third, I'm gonna put the oysters, probably because I prefer them to be a little naturally saltier, but those are my rankings. If you get to come here, I would love to know what you try. All right, no trip to a new city is complete without a trip to a dessert bar. So this is not a single location place, but this is Vampire Penguin, which I've never heard of, but they just happen to have locations in the most interesting, in my opinion, unusual places. The northernmost that I'm aware of is in Freehold, New Jersey, which if you're Springsteen fans, you've heard of. But I got the pina colada. Although I really hate the song, I do like the dessert. So this has boba, whipped cream, pineapple, and this is a snow ice. So I asked the server if this is the bingsu Korean style or the Taiwanese shaved ice. He said neither. He said this was started out in California in 2013 by two Filipino brothers. So this is extremely, I'm guessing it's gonna be very flaky, but I'm thinking it's probably gonna be milkier when you get to the inside. I definitely taste the pineapple the most. It does get a little bit milkier on the inside. I believe there's condensed milk in here as well. I like the nice touch that the boba has that comes with it. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe. I got more trips coming up soon. I'm going to be heading out to Phoenix, Arizona, and then I'm going to be visiting two states that I've been to but never spent a night in. Those are Wyoming and then Mississippi. Also have some plans in the work to go to Orlando, Florida, Portland, Oregon. Oregon's another state that I've technically been to but never spent a night in. I look forward to sharing more videos with you soon, and I hope you make it down to this corner of South Carolina soon. Bye.